machine is live and ready. We're good to go.
Has anyone seen Nate Shapiro? He hasn't come into the office in like 15 years.
Anton Jones was the greatest detective in the world.
I noticed a gray speck on your jacket, which could only have come from a quarry upstate. Gentlemen, the murderer is...
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. It's funny, if I squint my eyes, it looks like I'm watching a presidential debate. You all take care of those screws now. You can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And today's wrong answer of the game is being brought to you by...
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Sniff out our sponsor's wrong answer of the game and you'll end up with a great prize and serious cash. Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Get ready, time for question 1.
First question, bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Players 1 and 2. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it. Take a stab at. His acting is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 2, clock's a ticking. Players 1 and 2. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
And on its way, brought to you by the letter Unibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count. Bert, Ernie, the Count. The Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Time's a-wasting. Players 1 and 2. Any last words? Too late. Were you thinking of this one? Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! And yet, none of them have ever blinked. How about Duck Duck Swan? Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Players 1 and 2. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. 5 fingers! Say hello to the man in the backwards yellow hat, and it's a dis or dat. Player 2. Your score is the lowest, so why don't you play this dis or dat? I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Player 1. Try to lock in your answer before player 2, because if player 2 gets it wrong, but you get it right, you'll steal that cash. We good? Here we go. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. At the house. Got high on ether. Ew, baby, 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 ew. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That brings a close to round 1. Remember, I'm doubling the value of each question in round 2. And remember, our wrong answer to the game is still out there waiting to be picked. Let's keep going. Coming up next, Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Players 1 and 2. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise.
Question 7. Get up and shake your funky bang.
Why not try Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go? At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Player 2, watch that clock. Player 1. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah, 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 he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Try this on for size. Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
first spotted in 1879? Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Player one, time's running out. Player one. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Player two. That answer has a hole in it. Here's a good one. Wine or lose? If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Player two, do something. Player one. This isn't going to go with dinner at all. Player two. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. May I introduce I Wanna Lick and Roll All Night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Player 2, 10's running out. Player 2? I think at that point it would practically be coming out the other end. Player 1. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 if you're right, but if you're wrong, you lose 2,000. But keep this in mind.
Remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. takes it! Player 1, you cleaned up, which isn't saying much when you're playing against someone with the personality of waxy build-up. Player 2, next time you want to play against Player 1, remind yourself,
You don't know Jack!
Start of game activation is